easier for you to track your students' summer school success, you have the new Classworks Summer Insights dashboard for reading and math. If you're an administrator in Classworks, these have already been added to your Classworks Insights page. If you don't see it, you can easily add it by clicking the Add Widget button in the top right. These dashboards show you how much time students are spending mastering skills and give you a breakdown by domain so you get a clear picture of where your students have spent their time. Let's review the components of the report and then discuss how you might use it. By default, the dashboard shows information for the last 4 weeks. Use the filters at the top to change the time frame, choose specific schools or student grade levels. The very top of the report gives a quick summary of student performance. Student count is the number of students that completed at least one skill unit in its entirety within the designated time period. Student average time on task is the average time on task students spent on those completed skills during the selected time period. Total skills is the number of total completed skill units within the designated time period. And skills mastered are of those total completed skill units, how many were mastered. Mastery ratio is the skills mastered divided by the total skills, and that equals the mastery percentage. Average time per skill is the average amount of time students spent on each completed skill. Now let's take a look at the graphs you have available. Here you see the number of completed skills per grade level, as well as how many were mastered. Click the down arrow to see the domains that were included in those completed skills, the total number of skill units completed for each domain, as well as the amount mastered. Click on grade level and drill down to see the domains included in those completed skills for that grade level. This graph shows the average amount of time the students spent on their total skills during that time period by grade level. Click the down arrow to see the average amount of time spent on each of the domains that were included in those completed skills. Click on grade level and then the down arrow to see the average time spent on each domain included in those completed skills for that grade level. This circle graph gives you an overall picture of how students are spending their time in Classworks. Select the section to see the total skills completed during the selected time period. Select any skill, then the down arrow to see which grade levels worked on that particular domain the most. The next chart is domain detail. Here you see each skill domain with completed skills, how many students completed the skills in each domain, the average amount of time to finish each skill, and the average mastery for each domain. This black line represents 80% mastery of the domain. This heat map shows you the breakdown of average mastery by domain and grade level. This grand total is the grade level average total. The next heat map shows the breakdown of the average amount of time spent on each domain per grade level with the total average time reflected in the grand total. These new dashboards give you a high-level view of how students are spending their time in Classworks during summer learning. It also gives you insight into what they'll be ready to learn come fall. When using this data to monitor your summer learning program, consider, are students spending the amount of time you expected in individualized learning? Are students mastering skills? If not, remind teachers to conference and reassign instruction. Our Help Center has great suggestions. Go to help.classworks.com and check out the article, My Students Have Completed Their Assignments, Now What? Or search assignments in the search bar. When looking at the dashboard data for fall planning, consider, are students performing well in the domains needed to give them a good foundation for the fall? Where will students need more support this fall? And how can you use this data to plan your pacing guides and lesson plans? For support with analyzing your summer skills dashboard or with planning for fall, chat with us using the chat button in Classworks or email us at hello@classworks.com.